I would rather watch Moonfall than this.
Could you
movie.
push it a little
Thank
farther
you.
back?
Moonfall was good.
Like,
And
here-
with that
here's
said,
probably good.
welcome back to the Sleepy Cast MediaMix.
That wasn't the intro, was it?
I think that was
Oh my God! Slap my balls.
my balls are calling me Jonathan.
I have to
So-
get revenge for the vengeance hit.
Vengeance.
Go
Oh, it's
smack
cute. It's like I'm your Joker.
All right, but anyways, ladies and bronies, welcome back to the MediaMix.
What was the
podcast.
actual intro? No, I'm actually
You
trying to figure
can't-
out where do we start from there.
I don't know. You're the
just
editor.
figure it out in the
Oh my
editing.
God!
You have fun with this one. It's in there somewhere. Just make it.
You gave me
generic.
poopy vampire movie. Oh, by the way,
Somewhere
we're
in
doing,
there,
we're
me
doing
and Jack
poopy
did a
vampire.
cold start, and you can figure out in post where that was.
That's a cold start, dude.
Welcome to another MediaMix
Definitely isn't a
podcast
hard-
episode.
Hot start.
You know, we're back again watching another
I'll show you a
awful
hot start.
movie that nobody wants to watch because it's bad. And
Actually, no. It's an awful movie that everybody wants to watch.
well, everybody, at least there's one thing we can agree on here is that every person, you know, regardless of like their political affiliation or their favorite type of pizza topping, they can all come together and agree that Morbius was bad.
So
hopefully,
here's
right? Can we all agree on that?
So okay, Jack.
Here's the thing.
Jack thought
Alright,
it was.
God.
Jack
Here's the
thought it was-
thing.
It's always the people who like
Jack-
pineapple on
but
their
here's-
pizza.
I don't like
It's-
pineapple.
I like
No,
pineapple.
I hate
oh,
pineapple
oh
on
my
pizza.
gosh, there's two of them.
But no, I will say. So yes, the movie was a hot dumpster fire.
It was a little poopy terror.
But
We can
the
say there were a lot of bad.
the entire
things.
time, yeah, like you're set up, right? So like
Mm-hmm.
everyone has told you that it's a crap movie, and they're like, this movie is going to suck. Like expect this
Yeah.
movie to be bad.
which I didn't like
And
because
then-
I liked the beginning.
But okay, I watched it, and I was like, okay, the beginning makes sense, right? You
Yeah.
have them start off on like between the start of the movie and before they go back in time to Greece, right? So like that whole thing where he's like doing the bats.
Okay.
But
yeah.
in the trailer, what they make it seem is that that's where he gets his powers from, which it's not.
Yeah.
Why was he there?
Which
then?
then
To get the
yeah,
bats.
which then makes the scene irrelevant.
Well, he was there to get the bats.
How did he capture them?
He had the
What-
trap in the beginning. He was like, set up the
Okay,
trap
okay.
in the
Explain
beginning.
this to me then.
And
What
he got
was the
bats
point of
to
the
fly into that
bats?
trap.
Okay, then. So he
To get
he,
the DNA.
he did that.
He had
So
the
he had to
DNA?
get his
Okay.
DNA. But
What do you
did
mean
he,
was the point of getting the bats? Did you not pay
Okay.
attention to the first half
Yes.
of the movie?
yes, that's
There was one
that's
scene where
understandable.
he pokes a fucking bat with like a fucking
And then
scalpel.
he explains it all.
Here's something that I
He
hate.
explains it with some bullshit science mumbo jumbo that probably doesn't even make
It
actual.
made sense. They're like, oh, they have like a enzyme or something in them that basically just breaks down blood and makes it able to be eaten.
So basically, what you're saying is
I do
COVID
wish-
is basically Morbius syndrome.
What?
You're dumb. I
Now
do
we're marked
wish
for
they
COVID
explained
safety.
his disability a little bit more.
Yeah, because I
Because I didn't really understand his disability because I don't really know about it. I wish they kind of went into depth more about that and why having an enzyme that breaks down blood would be good for his disability.
Well, it was probably like
That I
a.
didn't really understand.
It was probably like his body couldn't like handle the toxicity of like the blood that he had in him. That's why he had to like change his
guess
blood
something
every
Or what's that?
like 3 times a day.
What's
kind
that
of
one
thing.
disease where it's like over time you slowly start to lose your muscle mass? Like your body doesn't
That's
produce
not
enough.
this.
That's not that.
I
it
don't
is.
remember. I don't know.
I
his-
don't know.
Somebody in the comments can say what his condition was.
Anybody,
They could look
anybody
at
a doctor that can explain
Here's-
this?
it. There's not a doctor watching this show, and if there is,
Just look it up. You never
Help.
know.
But here's something that I hate about movies, right? You start off on a interesting scene, right? There's a lot of movies that start off with like right off the bat, they start off with like a heavy hitter scene, like Dark Knight Rises, for instance. Like they start off with like the jet scene. That's the first one that I can come to mind. Or I don't know. A lot of movies do that. But here's something that I hate. When you start off with a movie and it's a 5-minute scene and then you immediately go back in time.
Exactly.
Why?
Exactly. It's like
Start off with the stupid scene with the kids where they're acting as I understand they're children, but it is like god awful because the one kid is just like
exactly. The time skips aren't effective in the storytelling in this movie. Like, why start when he's at the cliff getting bats, right?
And
Why not just start it from the very beginning when they're kids?
And then let's try and keep this like chronologically, because if we start jumping back and forth in the movie, it's just confusing. But
Let's do it chronologically. So in the hospital.
No, but I mean like throughout the podcast. I'm just saying.
Yeah, of course. So let's start like at the very beginning, right? Where's
Let's
the
start
beginning?
at the beginning.
It's where the kids in the
Two atoms
farm.
collided, right?
The
Big
clinic?
bang. Go ahead.
Let's
That
just start with.
was Jeebus.
Let's just read the Bible, Genesis.
I
or
think
some shit.
from the start of the movie to the cargo ship was good. Until it hit that cargo ship is when shit started going really
Now here's
off.
something that's stupid, because you can skip through like the most of that because it's like whatever, like it shows that he's being a doctor or some shit.
Yeah.
But why go on the cargo ship?
Because he has to be in international waters to test what he's doing. Because it's illegal in the United States.
Right. Which brings me to the next bullshit part. Why do they have the FBI on a case that's in international waters?
Well,
because it
washed up on the
Long Island.
Yeah, the coast of Long Island.
Which then makes it. But then the thing is, it doesn't matter if it's a homicide case or not, because they're murdered in international waters. So at that point, it's like whatever. There's no point in figuring out a case if they like.
They did end up saying they don't give a shit about those guys dying.
Right, but don't they interview him before that other nurse is murdered?
After.
Are you sure?
After.
Because I don't.
No, that was after. Yeah.
Because short.
It was like
I don't know.
Was it right after?
It was.
Here's the
yeah.
thing.
Okay.
The time
Because
skipping is so bad, I actually can't tell. But I'm pretty sure it happened afterwards, right? Because he kills the guys on the boat. We see him back at the hospital, right? And then he goes back and drinks some blue blood and some shit. And then the nurse lady is killed by whatever the other guy's name was. What was the other guy's name?
It was Lucian, but
Yeah,
called
okay.
him,
Marco or something.
They call him Milo, which doesn't
Milo.
make sense. So that's. I guess
that was something I had.
That's stupid,
didn't understand.
right? So in the flashback, they say he goes, "Oh, you're Milo," or whatever. Like 4 kids ago, it was Milo, but all the other kids either like left or they died or something.
Yeah.
And
It's like you're the new Milo.
but that's already fucked because you're bringing this kid in. You're like, you're Milo. I get it. He's an asshole, but like, he already calls him Milo, right? He's the only one who calls him Milo. His name is Lucian. I understand a nickname, but he calls him Milo like once, and after that he calls him by his real name. So when
when the kid passes out and he tries to save him,
he calls him Lucian.
He calls him Lucian. So I'm like,
what's
okay, now they're past that. You know, he's not gonna be a dick to him anymore. They're friends.
But now he constantly
they
reminds
just-
him, and then he just adopts the name Milo.
Yeah.
But
And then
it
everyone-
Why do we
just
care
has
about
no
that so much?
There's no
It's
significance
stupid.
behind it.
Dumb.
It's
I
such
don't
a
really
Bigger
get it.
things at stake here.
Just call him Milo at
Who
that
cares
point.
about that? That's not even that big of a deal.
It's not a
Obviously,
big
it's
deal.
important because they're like, oh, his nickname is
But it's-
Milo,
but
but his
it's
actual
stu-
name is Lucian.
It's stupid, and
Like-
then it seems really cringy when he's like, "I'm saving my best friend Milo," and you're like, "Who? Oh, him? I thought it was Lucian." Okay, I guess he's calling him Milo now. Like,
To be honest, they became friends very fast because he basically
he
just got there and he was like,
And
oh,
he
okay, I'm about
left.
to
Hey,
die.
we
And then,
both have ligma. Let's be best friends.
yeah, then he saved
Yeah,
him,
he
and then
saves him.
and then the guy was like, hey, you saved him with doing this little thing. You should go off to college. And
By
they-
the way, I looked it
I
up.
shipped
It's
them
just
on
a
off.
rare blood disease. I don't know if it has a name or not. I couldn't find it.
Also, how is that a demonstration of superior intellect? Him taking out a spring and rearranging it.
if anything,
He's like, it took a team
How
of
he even knew
scientists.
how to
Now-
do that.
It
Well,
took
yeah,
a team of
because-
scientists to make this machine, and all you did was take a screwdriver and unscrew the panel and take out the batteries. You're a genius.
now with that said, if he is decent, because that would technically be like, well, I don't know, electrical engineering at the age of what? He's like 9, 10, maybe.
I change the batteries in my remote every day.
Why would he become a doctor in the medical field if he showed proficiency in electrical engineering?
because it was a medical machine.
Also, doctorism
that is a stupid
kinda
excuse.
hard.
The lights in a hospital. Oh my god, I'm a doctor now.
I
I rewired this entire hospital. Call me Dr. Engineer.
Look
It's
at
stupid.
me. I know where the AAA batteries drawer is.
Don't worry. Your Xbox controller has died. I will change the batteries.
Because I'm a genius.
All right, I got something that's fresh on my mind right now.
What?
And I know you said you don't want to skip, but like I want to skip ahead because I just don't
How
care.
far ahead?
To basically the end.
No,
Just
because
listen,
there's other parts in the movie
we can
that
get
we have
back
to
to that.
talk.
But this is gonna leave my mind if I don't say it now.
Fine.
Fine.
So
This is why you write stuff down.
yeah, I don't have my computer with me though. So
There's
otherwise I would.
there's a
movie isn't
Sharpie and a
worth writing
napkin.
shit
Oh,
down.
wonderful. All right,
This movie isn't
That,
worth writing shit
that's
down.
littering.
we didn't, shut up. All right,
That's
so
gonna be $2.
he
Say what he
creates the
wants there.
two things to kill the bat people, himself and Milo, right?
Yeah.
Then he's like all determined to like kill Milo and then kill himself. But then like once he kills Milo, he just decides not to like kill
Oh
himself.
yeah,
He just
that's
flies off. Then like the whole after credit scene things happens. He's like, yeah, like he's supposed to be like forced to drink human blood the next day or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like not okay with that, but he's just like chilling.
But
with
also-
Liz, and he's like, oh, I'll team up with the vulture.
and now
You know?
now
Yeah, I don't
flashback.
get that.
Now
whatever happened to kill
now
yourself?
That
I'm
you
glad I
have
left
that
during that part to take a piss.
now that you have that said, if you skip back to the beginning of the movie, when Milo visits him, he does not 100% know that he did it. Like Milo does not know that Michael like managed to cure himself of the disease that he had.
Well, he does when he stands up straight and was like walking around.
Right, but he walks into the lab. He doesn't know yet until he sees him stand up. But like he looks and sees the vials, has no idea what those are. That could be something randomly medical. Right, he's been raised around medical stuff. He might be able to guess. But like, how did he, one, guess that was it? Two, manage to take it and inject it into his
that's
spine?
what I was thinking too.
Because I don't know if he's just going to in his back, because that's a specific area we're supposed to get it.
Or he's gonna take a shot of it like it's some tequila.
And then how does he not know?
Who knows?
Like, I understand this is a specific, but like, what if there's like an adverse reaction to him specifically and he just dies?
Well, obviously there wasn't.
Right, it would.
I don't think he really cared about that though.
I know that doesn't really matter, but then within the span of that time, then he has now made the moral decision to be like, now I'm going to kill, and I'm gonna be okay with that the entire time. And then like he kills or whatever and does a bunch
Well, I mean,
of
he
shit.
was bullied as a kid, and like life has kind of been like terrible to him. So I guess.
We were all bullied. I'm not a psycho murderer.
Yeah, but
That-
setup was
okay. If you look at
dog
it,
shit.
I mean, like they did a little kind of bad job of his setup, but like they did set it up to where you could see this, to where like, you know, they implied that he got bullied a lot, and obviously like he had a condition where he wasn't a normal kid, he couldn't do normal things, he was always made fun of, and then now he's finally got this power where he can really just go around and kill anybody he wants without any repercussions.
But also,
And he's power hungry.
he
so
feels like what shit for being bullied. He steps out of a Rolls Royce in the beginning of the movie. How shitty can he really feel if he's coming from a lot of money? I understand you can get bullied regardless, but like, did he?
I don't think money has anything to do with like how you can like
could buy you a bodyguard to kill those kids.
No, that's not at all. No,
I mean,
that's
hey,
not
when
how
he's
it works.
older,
kids.
he has a bodyguard with him, and
Money does
like
not
in the room
equate
with
to
him.
happiness. Just because you have nice things doesn't mean you're going to be happy.
See,
Yeah,
no, that's
exactly.
what
So-
broke bitches say.
that's a copium talking, Jack. If I had a bunch of money, I would
Stop.
be the
We don't
happiest
do
man.
drugs.
Stop.
I
Don't
could
make
buy-
it seem like
God.
I could buy so much happy.
Nick,
Stop.
we only do that on
Think
Saturday
about this,
nights,
Nick.
not
Think about
Fridays.
this. What about like a kid who's getting like bombed right now, you know? And then he
Okay.
finally like he moves to America and he lives in a cardboard box. But he's like happy that he's living in America and he's like the happiest person on earth.
I don't know. I feel like we need to cut this segment out.
I feel like it's
Let's
all
just start
about
talking about
I feel like it's all
bombing.
about perspective. Like maybe for you, like you already have everything at the level that you have, and now only money will make you happy.
No, I will.
I don't know. I mean,
And
if
nice
I came
things.
from an
Okay.
area where I was being bombed and I upgraded to a cardboard box where I'm not getting bombed, I don't know.
Hey,
You'd be
Jack.
happy?
I mean, I can't exactly empathize with this scenario.
You'd be
but
happy? Would you be happy?
Go back to the movie.
I would be less sad. I don't know.
Jack, if you don't
Let's go back
stop,
to the
I
movie,
swear
why
to
don't we?
God, I will go full Batman on you.
What do you mean?
You're gonna
No
feel the
full
fists of
Batman
justice.
on
or
you.
You could ask Zach.
I'm
It
making a
hurts.
good point here.
Yes, but every time that like me and Zach or me and Nick will have
Can I
a conversation
just
that's
say,
off
though,
topic.
can
You
I-
shit bricks on the table.
Let me give Jack some credit. Yes, sure. It sets up a bad guy. Does it do it effectively though?
I mean,
No, it does
agree.
not.
I agree. It doesn't
It does
do
not.
that. Like they could have shown a little bit
The
more of
only-
his backstory and.
This is the foundation they have to make this guy a bad
His
guy.
backstory's
he
lame.
he loses his I know it's bad, but he loses a piece of paper, goes downstairs to try to get his paper, and then gets a little bit of bullying done and gets the shit kicked in. That's all we really see, and then he gets mad after he gets beat up.
I just hate the classic, like, oh, teenage boys are evil.
Are
and they
evil.
Just will beat up little kids.
Yeah, they literally fucking.
It doesn't
They,
happen
that's-
every
Yeah, it
all
really
the
does not.
time.
I mean, I don't know if we were raised in like the right
I
part
don't
of
know
town
if
or
we-
something.
I know
but
it happens in some places, but
wasn't.
it doesn't happen at every middle school there is.
I've
I mean,
gotten legitimately bullied once, and it was in middle school, and a kid straight up haymakered a volleyball at my face. That was the only time I was legitimately.
yeah, like
Bro, that's
the only
Sunday
time I was
school.
legitimately
I got
bullied
actually
was
fucking
I was
bullied
chased
in
around.
elementary school.
I was chased around by the 8th graders. Did they do
Yeah.
anything to me? No.
that was like the
Fat
most,
ass little kid me probably needed the jog. I mean,
There's
maybe
like-
they did me a favor.
Dude, in elementary school, I got bullied. You know, I got beat
oh, I was
up.
popular now.
To be
You
fair,
were
I
popular.
was
You got a
probably
pass.
beating
You
you
got a
up.
pass because you were funny.
Yeah.
I was not funny. I was awkward
You
as
got the
shit, and I
funny
got
pass.
beat up, and I
Yeah,
got fights.
you got the funnies.
I'm not a bad guy though.
Can we also?
That makes a lot of
I want to
sense.
point this
This
out.
is
The
this
doc-
Nick's
the
evil
the
villain.
actor who plays as Milo was one of the actors who played as Doctor Who. Yeah. So every time I
knew that.
stared at him, I thought of that. But also, dude, he's got a Neanderthal forehead.
Bruh.
Why do you keep saying
That's
that?
rude.
People
I'm
can't help
sorry.
that, man.
I'm sorry,
I
but
do.
like that's the thing that no.
I thought he was a pretty good. I thought he was a pretty good villain.
I don't know what is a Neanderthal for?
He had a very. Sorry. Also,
Yeah, that was-
dude.
Oh,
Holy,
those are
there's
so fucking awful.
so
They were
much
cheesy.
slow
Oh my
mo.
God.
They were cheesy.
The
Just-
slow, I hated the slow.
I want to be
We
honest.
need to
It's-
just talk about the
It's
CG.
already a shitty movie. If you're slowing it down, that just means we have to look at shittier scenes even
Well, just
slower.
Like okay, I get the slow mo scenes where they're like clawing at each other. Some of those look not that
Yeah,
bad,
they were cool.
but then it's like, why do you have it just slow mo with Doctor Who? Just
No, you can't forget the part where he has.
He
his
does it
mouth
twice.
open.
Sick.
He does it twice.
he's like, what am I watching right now?
There's
Is this the perspective of Morbius? He's just like sawing his nails, like looking at it, and he just like looks up and he's just like,
yeah.
like just go fight him, punch him in the face or something.
I
please.
am
that scene was very.
Brazilian man.
That scene was very
You are too slow.
drawn out. Like he kind of just like they could have gotten us like the point they're trying to make, where he was like, "Oh, I can like catch the wind and like fly in it," or whatever the hell they were like kind of.
How does that make sense?
I don't know. Whatever
even-
point they're trying to make there, they could have made it faster than like where they switch back to Milo running at him like 15 times.
I'm gonna be honest with
He's
you.
like,
Whoa,
I
am I
don't even
tripping
want to.
balls right now? What the hell?
I can feel the wind.
The concept of how they fly with a 10-foot pole, because it just makes no fucking sense to me.
that and
Also, I hate that they go from like bestest of friends to
I know.
Immediate
There is
villain.
no
and
tension
they're
between
instantly
them.
wants to just
There is
murder each other.
absolutely no tension between them, and then they end up throwing hands like 5 minutes.
and to be
5 minutes later, I'm
and
like,
Well, Milo's
another-
literally like, going around
What?
trying to kill people, and Morbius is like, I don't
Morbius
I
want to
know,
do that.
but they literally just had a conversation where Milo was like, I am everything because of you. Everything I am is because of you. It's you and I versus the world. Aya, aya. And then he starts
that and also
punching.
when he first meets him and he's like, you don't want this, he's like, oh, why not? And he's like, it's a curse. And then he's like, ah! And he like runs away.
See, like,
why isn't he
Why can't he just be like, okay, this is still science. Let's alter out the kinks, you know.
Why
Let's
did-
try to reverse this and then make it into something that could
That-
work.
He
and I
was
don't-
kind of saying that at first, and Morbius was like, "No, this is terrible."
No, he's like,
Because
no, I have to
he
kill
just got
us.
off like a bender of not
Yeah.
having any blood.
so he gets Milo says we'll work it out, and then Michael gets all shitty and is like, no, we can't, and then later on says, I'm gonna study this and figure out how to reverse it.
Well, it was obviously at a point that Morbius was like not. He was like, really pissed off because he was, he's kind of just figuring out that he can't survive on the artificial blood forever, and he's eventually gonna have to resort to real human blood, which he really doesn't want to do. It's against his morals. He's just kind of figuring that out, and he was like, okay, this is a curse. Like, I'm literally gonna have to I don't even think you have to kill humans to get that. You just buy donated blood or something like that.
Yeah, that has never made sense to me. Like, the concept of vampires is the dumbest thing to me, because I understand they're these more powerful things that kill humans because they can, and they that's their mode of sustenance. But if you're an all-powerful being and you're like, hey, I can literally kill all of you, but I don't want to, why don't we just set up a blood donation thing? Because literally, if artificial blood isn't going to help me, I'll just trade out. If artificial blood can work for everyone, why have real blood and just give the blood to the vampire?
Yeah, that could work.
How does that...
Or, right, he could drink other kinds of blood.
Well, I wish they would have went into this on why, maybe a little 2-minute segment on why he can't drink animal blood and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's never explained.
But he was just only human blood.
Only human blood.
Because it's he alters his DNA with with the bat's DNA that only drinks blood, but the bats drink animal blood.
Listen,
they don't just feed off of humans on a remote island.
Also,
so why does he have to feed off of human blood?
And I know this isn't the same thing, but in Castlevania, the vampires who don't drink human blood drink pig's blood. And wild
cattle blood,
regular
blood gives me the shits.
Yeah, understand it gives you the shits, but I don't know if you're
at least in that sense they explained why they don't drink animal blood.
He didn't even test it. And then also, speaking of the scene where he's figuring out all of his powers, he figures out the echolocation, which doesn't make sense because you don't have your eyes open when you do echolocation. But whatever. He's doing echolocation, and then he throws the ball straight, and then it bounces a couple of times and then comes back straight to him. So I'm assuming it hit the wall and then hit the ceiling 7,000 times and then came back to the same. But I know this is a stupid complaint, but I know it's
he
stupid
threw it at some guy.
And then he dribbled the ball, and then he threw it back.
The guy threw it back to him.
Well, it's
or he threw it off screen. Some guy, some producer, caught it, and then they played a sound effect of a ball bouncing a million times, and then somebody just tossed one right back to him, and it probably took a couple takes for him to do this.
Well, it's
play ball bouncing PNG 38,
and it just goes and bounces, and then
somebody
with all the CGI, it was acting like the ball bounced all over the place, and then wow.
Also, another thing about that hospital, that is the stupidest fucking lights I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah,
I've never seen.
Is that how they?
That.
No.
Is that how any hospital lights?
No.
Function? Where the light
not even the ones
only turns on when you're underneath it.
God.
No, they don't.
I will say though that scene was pretty spoopy.
Yeah, that was the only scene that was
the only scene that wasn't really dog shit.
Poor nurse though.
That was the only.
Keep in mind though,
this whole
that
movie
was one of the
built
only
tension.
scenes that didn't have Jared Leto in it.
I honestly don't blame Jared Leto for this movie flopping.
No,
you
I feel like Jared Leto.
I thought his
We need to talk
performance
about the acting.
He gets a bad rap, but at the same time, Jared Leto is just Jared Leto in this movie.
Listen, he does it to himself in this. There are some scenes where it's what the fuck are you doing? That's the part where he's watching on the intercom what he did in the past 2 hours, murdering people. And he's like,
yeah, of course you're gonna throw up.
I threw up.
Wait, what was the part? What was the part that you started laughing at?
That was that part.
Oh, was it the part he goes?
He's Mayday, and then he calls him Mayday, and he's completely calm and shit. He's
calling...
Mayday, Mayday. Some bullshit happened. People are dead. Come save us.
He calls Mayday, and then he just abandoned ship.
Jumps off the ship.
Yeah, were they not just
him jumping off the ship? It's just the way he speaks in this whole movie. It's devoid of emotion.
And another thing that's kind of stupid. You have the FBI on this, right? And then you have these two. Let's say they're not canonically vampires, right? They're science experiments gone awry. What's the main thing that you see at crime scenes on a body? What's the first thing you're gonna check for?
Pulse.
Yeah, what's gonna be on those holes? The killer's DNA and saliva and teeth marks and like literally everything.
They would already be able to
Did you say
discern that.
pulse?
Oh wait,
How-
it's Lucian who's killing these
How-
people.
You said pulse, not holes.
I said a pulse.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, a pulse. Sorry.
you said.
I thought he said holes. But like,
Who the fuck checks for holes when they first find a body?
okay, what,
Yep.
the first thing you're gonna
He's got a mouth.
okay,
Blood on the
first thing-
outside of the body.
You're gonna check for a wound. Let's say a wound. You're gonna check how they died, right?
You're gonna
how
check if they're still alive.
how how?
If they're not moving on the floor.
Okay, whatever.
Jack,
you
I
could've lost a
know.
decapitated
Understand.
body.
Okay, I get it.
It's got holes.
But
You
here's-
check the pulse.
Here's the thing. They look at the guy, right? And then they're like, we found the killer's saliva on the person. Let's just not test it and just go after the one guy since we know who it is. Why don't they test it? That makes no sense to me.
You want to know something else funny too? Remember the scene where he like pretty much just jumps up like 50 flights of stairs and then
Oh my
The
God.
cop is like,
Dude,
the cop is shooting at him.
GTA.
No, the guy.
Shoot him, bring it.
Well, no, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about like how he got up to the ceiling, was up there for maybe like
Oh,
maybe 30 seconds,
5
max.
seconds.
And the freaking other cop was literally like already up there. Like, how, what do you do?
Dude,
Do you
yeah,
teleport?
no,
Holy,
dude,
did he teleport?
he did not climb those stairs. He ascended those stairs. God-like speed. He's just like,
he T-posed and he
Yeah,
floated.
there's
he,
no way
he ascended.
Like what,
dude,
the
he had like the bat claw or some shit, or he had like the grappling hook.
Now-
Harder from
now
Unless
they-
Morbius was just chilling on that roof for fucking 30 minutes.
Now they
There's no way.
investigated. They investigated like the whole Venom thing, right? Because they're in the same universes, I guess.
Yeah, they even mentioned it. They're like,
they-
this is the weirdest thing we've seen since San Francisco.
But they don't know
Which
that
was
it's like a monster yet.
Yeah.
How the hell is that cop so calm to just go run up and try and shoot it? I would just be like, fuck that. Like a sensible.
out of my pay grade.
I feel like sensible. I feel like cops in movies they immediately shoot first, and also the
Well,
mercenary.
This they didn't know anything about him. They just knew he was a suspect. He started running, right? And then as soon as they hit the staircase, that cop just fully pulls out his pistol and starts opening fire at him for no reason at all.
He could have just been run. Like, I understand he could be a suspect, but like he's not of. They don't know if he was the one who murdered the person or not.
I love how their first interaction was like, "Hey, Dr. Morbius, can we talk to you for a second?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." He's like, "By the way, you saved my arm with your artificial blood. You're an awesome doctor. You have all these things backing you. You're just a good person. Anyways, we're gonna need you to come into the station for questioning because we think you killed that woman up there."
They find two.
You're my hero.
They show
also,
up.
I'm arresting you.
And the other guy's like, "Yeah, we're taking you in."
They show up.
Nobody liked that other dude who was like the guy
the
with
like
the
the
glasses.
comedy relief.
The dark
Yeah,
remake.
he's terrible.
he fucking sucked. Oh my
what
God.
was the
It was
thing he
horrible.
said? He was like, he just had jokes that were like.
Just bad.
I think the only joke that was kind of funny was him bringing like holy water,
holy water.
into the room. It'd be even more funny if
This is triple blessed, by the way.
It'd be even more funny if his partner like he's like, "Why'd you bring that?" And then he like sits down and puts out a piece of garlic or something.
He's wearing a garlic necklace.
So they at the hospital, the person is dead, and then they already have cops at the scene looking at the body,
Right.
and then. I don't know, 5 minutes have elapsed, 10 minutes or whatever. And then they show up because they're like, we're here to talk to Michael Morbius. They should have been told immediately that there was a murder at the hospital. And they're showing up there for Michael Morbius, and then he's leaving. And then they're like, we got to ask you a couple of questions. They ask them, and then they're about to go in, and they go, we have a few more questions for you. And then he's just like...
No
No.
more question.
Well, no, because you saw that you could hear that like they found the dead body or something. Which, again, the timing made no sense because the nurse, like died overnight and was there. So the first person in the morning must have realized, was like, oh shit, she's dead, and then
that's the
called
thing.
in. Whoa,
It's
and then
a
called
hospital.
in. Yeah, well that, and then
They don't close,
Yeah, I know. And then they called it in.
Actually, it's a lab.
No, there's patients there though.
but isn't there patients?
Okay, no, yeah, then yeah. It's
And then
technically...
They
it's
called
a
it into
hospital.
like the police station. You'd think they would everybody would have known, especially an FBI agent going to the place would have known that there was already a dead person in there.
Yeah,
And
they
then
wouldn't
and
just
got
be
their blood
calling
And then on
Zion.
top of that, it was like the murder, like from where it looked like, it was like kind of close to like the end of the hallway, What's going to be at the end of the hallway? Probably a camera. Did they not like check the camera and then look at it and be like, that doesn't even look like Michael Morbius? Like, who the fuck is that? Like,
it's like, first
like
of
how
all,
the only
why is there energy saving lights in a hospital?
in a hospital
or
that's
lab?
like, that's making. That doesn't make sense. And then like, there's only one switch for the lights.
I think I
Yeah,
simply
one
just
switch
would
at the
not
end
work
of the
that
hallway.
shift.
Why is she there alone? Like, what is she?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's a hospital. The lights would all be on. There would be cameras in every hallway,
probably
and
more workers,
monitoring
too.
important rooms.
Uh-huh.
And then there wouldn't just be one person just on a
like,
floor
where's all
alone
the staff?
until morning time.
Yeah, and
I
it's
mean, just
dead.
like-
It looks completely dead. We have a lot to.
Morbius.
We're 32 minutes in, and there's like still.
I feel like we've been talking about this for 3 hours.
Yeah, but there's still more stuff that we haven't even talked about.
Oh my god.
Like
dude.
the lip biting scene.
Yeah,
Uh,
what the heck was that?
Okay, before we get into that, I just want to say, back on the cargo ship, before he like when he transformed and all that, and then the guy was like, "What the hell is that?" And then like called his buddies to come down.
He just said he didn't.
Why
like-
did they like?
He also didn't hold a walkie or anything. He just said, "I need you guys down here."
Hey boys,
And
get
he
down
just-
here. They're like,
He's like,
okay.
"Hey, they have summoned me."
My
All T-posed on the
Also,
stage.
as a mercenary, most mercenaries have like worked for a military because that's like the whole like definition of a mercenary.
Right.
He missed like 5 shots immediately. He's on the ground and he just shoots the wall. How? That's
Well,
such.
honestly, I don't even care about that.
He looked
That's just
really
movie-
scary.
That's just movie stuff.
I thought he was
but,
gonna
like-
rape her. I thought like
What?
in that
What?
scene, I thought he was gonna go
The big
down.
guy?
I thought he was gonna go down and then be like, "Hey, you're all alone now. That Michael Morbius isn't gonna save you." And I thought he was gonna change and like murder the guy.
Oh,
I don't
that
know.
would've
got
been
some weird
not
kinks.
cool.
It's I mean, not a,
I'm sure he saw Michael Morbius before. Anyways, I don't know what Morbius would have done.
well,
in the
yeah, that's
first
what I mean. Like
place.
he's not here
I'm
to
gonna
save
do
you
some
or whatever.
NTR.
You're next, boy.
You in front of Morbius.
I thought he was gonna
catch
do
me.
that. Also, he was just being casually racist, just like right off the bat, and like walks in.
Yeah,
That's
because
really racist.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh, well,
but like,
he called her the help.
why when the help arrived, why did the girl was like,
How is
no,
that
don't
racist?
shoot him, and then they're just like,
Oh yeah,
No!
they straight up.
and
like,
then they give her a fucking
like,
like concussion.
don't shoot her. And the guy's just like just holy crap! Like what the hell's your problem?
Yeah,
Like I
know,
get it, they're
mean,
mercenaries,
okay.
but at the same time, not all most. Well, I can't really say that about all
yeah,
mercenaries.
but they have to
like,
be paying them.
some mercenaries aren't like bad people. Some of them are just like they want to be in the military and they'll just go and do shit. But I mean, I guess for this sake, they're bad.
Sticking up for the mercs, I see.
So
I don't know.
why did
Sticking up for the mercs, Squinty.
change up the scenes? Why did Milo just straight up kill his like whole childhood like caretaker?
Because he's evil.
Yeah, but like that's like you killing your mom or something like
'Cause he's
that because
evil.
you suddenly became like powerful.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
I mean. The sudden hatred towards Morbius is the same sudden hatred towards
Literally
him.
everybody.
And then he was just trying to help too.
But also,
Yeah.
he doesn't even know that he doesn't 100% know.
Yeah, he does because he brought him blood. He brought him artificial blood.
Okay, yes, but he knows, but there's no evidence to know that he's done this. He could totally be like Michael Morbius has been doing this the whole time. There's no evidence to know that.
Well, actually,
What's
there
his-
was
This
the
was right
one.
after.
This is
There
the
was
issue.
the one camera that
This is-
caught his face, and they're like, "Oh, that's not Morbius. This is a copycat." And then
Oh, yeah,
he
no,
was
that's true.
watching
That's
that,
true.
and that's
He-
why he wanted to go.
Here's
his
the
own.
problem with Milo is in the movie, he acts the ways he acts and the decisions he makes and his actions dictate that he has like deep-seated hatred towards literally everybody. But the problem with that is his sudden spur of hatred comes from him and Morbius suddenly having clashes over whether or not he's going to give Milo the serum and make him a vampire. Because if Morbius had just given him the serum, Milo probably would have been fine. He probably wouldn't have been bad.
He would have been
You know,
like,
I
okay.
think
to the
I
extent
feel like
that he
the
was in the
serum-
movie. No, seriously.
I feel.
I don't think
I
it
don't
did.
know.
It did some part.
Well, it's like if you
Well, it
think
gave him
about
more
it, he's
power.
a Spider-Man villain, right? And God, every fucking villain that Spider-Man has that alters their DNA always makes him more mad for some reason. Like the Lizard. He's just like, yeah, I want everything to be lizards now.
I feel like that's such. I don't know. That's such a lazy excuse.
Yeah, but everybody would be so much better if we were all lizards.
Which wasn't
we
even
could
the
just-
thing. I don't even think that was
Just grow back
anyway.
our limbs.
But and
Evolution is now.
then what else? And then he goes to a bar and is like,
I'm gonna hit on some chicks.
I'm gonna hit on some chicks. And then the guy is like mean to him, and he's like,
7 days.
Which I didn't get. Was that like his girl or was it?
no,
he
it was a
just
girl
like-
that he like was paying for drinks for, and then Milo came in and was like, I'll buy you a drink. He's like, my dick was already in her drink, and then he was like, it's alright, I'll just go and whatever. I don't fucking
We're
know.
all parking
But
our
then-
car in the
but-
same garage.
But then like the bar that they're in, he's like, I'm gonna go on top of this skyscraper and just kind of sit here, and then for some reason jump, even though I literally could just like waited in the alley or something. Like,
He is a
he's
little
an all-powerful being. He could
he's
have
a
just
little
Yeah, that's
pervy.
a
slit
stupid
their
argument. What do you
throats
mean?
in the
He's a
club
little-
and kidnap the girl.
He's a little pervy. Not gonna lie.
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
He's just saying. Maybe it was a good thing he couldn't walk correctly. I mean, little perv man.
He fucking fingered
Sack.
that one girl's throat.
Is that a bad thing to say? I mean, I don't know.
Also, she's dying, and then she's just like, let me take a little nibble. And he goes,
Yeah, so what was up with that, dude? Like,
why did
The
she?
instant romance. Okay, the thing that pissed me off throughout this whole movie, right? And it stuck with me the whole movie. And it was like at the beginning, he's like, "Okay, my assistant. That's all that we are. You know, she's just an assistant." And like he's like, "I don't want you to get involved with this at all. Please just leave." And she's just by his side the whole fucking movie. He doesn't say a word. And then all of a sudden, halfway through the movie, they're just like, okay, now we're both wanted for, murder. And it's like, you know what, let's make love. And then, they're at the end, and then she's dying. And then they're like, oh my God, let me just give you a little, and then,
How many-
and then die.
How many
And it's
movies?
like-
How many movies have done that though? There's a lot.
Like, oh, I don't want you to come with me, but I'll stick by your side anyway.
No, movies where there's no
Like, there's no.
There's
Didn't
no,
they, like,
no,
there's
there's
no
no,
love interest
there's
build up?
no reason for them to be in love other than the fact that
Oh,
one is a
wow.
guy
Fear
and one's
Street.
a woman.
Yeah.
no, Rise of Skywalker.
Fear Street.
That's another one.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Fucking
'Cause-
Fear Street with the brother and that
because-
one cheerleader chick where they like hardly ever talk, and then by the end they end up in the fucking bathroom
Okay,
giving BJ's
but-
to each other.
Okay, besides higher dollar.
They literally do.
Okay, higher dollar movies.
To
Because
each
this is
other?
technically considered to be a blockbuster. I use quotations around that because not many things were busting after this movie.
definitely not me.
Except for me out of the door so I could take a piss.
It was like a
And
company
as soon
blockbuster.
as the fucking credits
As
started
soon as the
rolling,
credits rolled,
like
I
it
was
didn't
out
even
that
show
bitch.
the logo of the movie yet, and Nick was just
I was
halfway
like,
down
I'm
the
ready
aisle.
to go, dude. Just show whoever the fuck directed it so I could get the
Also,
fuck out of here.
Like, is it just me, or did the movie just end so awfully?
It did. It's just,
Like, there was no like epilogue. It was
There's
just it just
no-
ended.
yeah.
yeah. It climaxes.
I mean, it goes
And
back to
then-
that point where it's like at the end he's supposed to just kill himself and he
Yeah,
doesn't, and then
and he
he's
just
like,
Doesn't.
"Guess I'll team up with
But
the
it's
Vulture
like
now."
I'm just trying to think of this from like the director's standpoint, right? Like, okay, he's supposed to kill himself. He just killed the enemy. Now he's supposed to kill himself, but he goes on and he doesn't. What made him change his mind? Nothing.
Then on top of that,
Nothing made him change his mind.
for some reason in like the post-credits scene or post-title scene, because there's two of them.
Oh God, kill me.
So they do that, and then they're like, "Oh, the Vulture was put in jail," which also is kind of funny because you brought up the whole thing where it's like he was put in handcuffs again. He teleports in this room, and then they're just like,
What
put
the
him in
fuck is that?
yeah, they're just like, "Fuck him," and then they put him in
like-
handcuffs and they take him out, and then they're like, "We're gonna release you from prison," and then
What did you do? I don't know, man. I just got here.
and then he I guess rebuilds the whole Vulture thing, and then meets up with Michael Morbius in the end.
in a span of like one night.
And Michael Morbius has been this like
Well, it
nothing.
didn't it say timeline for the second one? Didn't it say like so many weeks later, or something like that?
Whatever it is, but
So
like,
at this point, was Morbius just drinking human blood?
I
yeah,
guess.
had
no,
to.
and this is what he has. Apparently, he is now
He just
changed
decided to live.
his
He's just
morals.
an evil guy now.
His-
See, it's like,
Is he?
well, they want to. The whole point of that thing was to set up the Sinister Six again. That's what Sony's been wanting to do the whole entire time.
Is
They
Morbius
just
a part
want-
of the Sinister Six?
He can
He
be.
is now, I guess, because Vulture wants to make a team. But it's like,
like, what,
the whole
Goblin?
thing is like, why?
I think.
Why is Morbius evil? Because he's not really
Exactly.
evil. He's a good
This
guy.
entire
He just
thing,
gets.
he's made
you know,
groundbreaking,
bread
scientific
haking.
discoveries, saved millions of people's lives.
slinging.
Is a renowned
Flick off the camera.
renowned
No.
doctor
I'm
who's
counting.
who only wants to help people, and then they just now he's a bad guy.
Now
Yeah,
he's
now
like,
he's a
I'm
bad
a
guy.
How is he a
criminal.
bad guy? He kills the bad guy
I
Like his whole
because he
character
wants to
was-
be. He kills the bad guy who wants to be a bad guy, and how the what? That just doesn't.
yeah, maybe the roles would have been better if they were reversed.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
And then like the villain finally won. Like that'd be cool.
Yeah.
There's okay, but this is the thing. It's not guaranteed that he'll be in the Sinister Six. I know they're hinting at it in
It'd be
in
stupid
that,
because he's not bad.
but he doesn't. It doesn't have to. I think after the way that this movie did, is they're like, okay, we're not gonna.
but the
include
thing
him.
is, this isn't the MCU's universe.
It's Sony.
It's
but-
Sony.
but
So it's either
unfortunately-
Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man's universe,
No.
or it's
Well, it's not going to be Andrew
the other
Garfield.
guys.
I don't
'cause
think it
they
will.
had Michael Keaton's Vulture.
No,
So
that's what. Okay, here's what I want to
Well, it
start
doesn't
off
matter
with.
anymore, 'cause
Here's
the
what I
whole
want to start off with.
Multiverse
Right,
thing.
the multiverse opened up, right? And by the way, in this after credit scene, it looked fucking awful compared to like the Spider-Man movie.
the budget was.
I get that, but I just wanted to say that. And it's like it opens up, right? Then all of a sudden, Vulture is in a different universe. First of all, why? Why is he in a different universe? That doesn't make
That doesn't
any
make
sense.
because the thing is that what was supposed to happen is
they were all the Spider-Man villains were going to his universe.
not spreading out.
Yeah, they weren't
Yeah.
spreading out. They were going to one universe to kill Peter Parker.
Did he just pass
and
by
then they
Morbius'
did the
universe
spell where
along
they
the way?
forget about Peter Parker. So that's why Vulture hates Spider-Man again. Because at the end of what was it, like Homecoming or whatever movie he was in with him, he actually liked Spider-Man, or because he liked Peter Parker. But now that I forgot about Peter Parker, he just hates
He
Spider-Man.
just hates Spider-Man again, which is just
So that's why
is
he hates Spider-Man.
backpedaling on the
Yeah,
progress
but
he's already
like,
made.
why is he just in this different universe now? It doesn't make any sense.
I wanted to say, cause I keep on staring at your shirt, so I thought about the scene when they go to her house. I don't own cats, right? I know this
Okay.
is going to sound really off topic and it's going to sound stupid. I don't
Oh
own
yeah,
cats.
He shakes the
He
litter
shakes the
box.
litter box.
He's like,
Who-
there's no cat inside.
There's no cats here.
If I shook my cat's litter box, what do you think? It's just
think
gonna
he was
come
looking-
running like you're shaking treat
Time to
bags?
shit.
I think he was looking for like shit in
Shit?
the litter box. Yeah, that's why he was shaking it.
But there doesn't. They could have.
Maybe she just
She
cleaned
could have
it.
just
He was on-
cleaned
dude,
it. That's like. That's the thing.
They were shaking that thing. They're like, "You're kitty,
There's no
kitty. It's
shit in the
much
toilet.
time."
She
They're like-
must not be
they're like,
home.
they're like, yeah. I don't go into. I don't like go to. If I was a detective, right, and I was at like a homicide case, and I was like, I'm gonna go to this person of interest, and I go into their house, and I just go like, in their toilet, and I'm like. Come here!
Come here,
Somebody
murderer!
needs to shit!
It's shitting time.
Who's got a gopher poking out of their asshole?
Who's got IBS?
Who the
you
fuck?
do.
That's the dumbest shit. Fuck that detective. Fuck you,
What do you
stupid.
mean? That was actually a good like. He was checking to see if there was shit in the litter
Oh
box.
man,
That-
I hope there's
that-
shit in this litter box.
If
Maybe
that-
there could be some
If,
more.
if I ever like in real life, like if like I was watching the news and they're like, we have our best team of detectives, and I see that guy walk
But
up,
just
I'll be
imagine,
like,
Blake,
oh.
But just
They're
imagine like
fucked.
shaking a litter
a
box.
Batman in place of this detective. It's just like Batman just shaking a litter box. Here, kitty. Here, kitty.
The Riddler's in here.
This movie makes
The Riddler's in here.
This
His
movie
cat's
makes the new
gone.
Commissioner Gordon look like Grace Under Fire.
You got a lot of cats. He looks like the guy from Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Oh my god!
I kept on thinking it was him.
Oh, you mean the goat?
The
You mean the
What's his
guy
name?
with glasses?
Yeah,
dickhead.
the music producer from Alvin and the Chipmunks. I forgot his name. He's a
I'm
comedian.
looking it up right now.
Like Gavin or something like that.
Is it Gavin?
Kevin.
Demons. I don't know.
I think his name is Gavin.
That was Kevin.
I
or
forgot his
something like
name.
that.
What is it?
I
But anyway, that's
bet it's
what I thought it was when I watched the trailer.
I love how I just googled the guy from Alvin and the Chipmunks, and all the pictures are him. That is great.
No, he's got such
What's
a
his
massive
name?
Ian
brain,
Hawke?
dude.
Ian Hawke.
Ian Hawke.
Okay, yeah, they'll look it up. I mean, we could put. I could.
Is that his real name or is that the?
I don't know.
It's the blog from Alvin and the Chipmunks, ladies and gentlemen.
God, the
But he-
absolute goat.
But speaking of actors, because we like barely touched on Jared Leto's like performance.
You know he did
Yeah,
method
well,
acting?
I feel bad for Jared Leto.
I do, too.
Because the thing is, he gets a bad rap, but the issue is, it's like
I feel like the worst thing about this movie is definitely the writing.
it's like having a relative who is messed up over and over in their life, but like you're like no, they'll get it right, you just don't know them, and then they'll go and do something like set fire to an orphanage, and you're like, you just don't know them the way
But
that I
they've done
do.
some good things.
And
Can
you're
I
like,
just-
they murdered like 5 people in their beds, and now they have burnt an orphanage.
Yeah,
Like,
but they did win the spelling bee.
Yeah, but you got to be honest. Like a long time ago, they did this thing that was like all
They
right.
won the spelling bee in second grade. You
Like,
got to remember that.
I
There's
understand. Like as much as you want to say, Jared Leto was in a decent band, it doesn't make up for the
Decent band?
Yeah, he was in 30 Seconds to Mars. He was the lead singer for 30 Seconds to Mars, and then he became an
That's
actor.
him?
Yes, it is. I have one of their songs on my. They've made one good song.
Brave New World? Or
No.
This
Well, you
is
might
War?
piss yourself off
This
because
But
is
of
he,
that.
but he, and then went on to make. I don't know what's the next movie that I remember him from.
Suicide Squad.
No, besides Suicide Squad, because I'm thinking of other movies that he was in.
Didn't well, there was that one role he
Not the
played where he
new
gained a
one,
lot
the
of
old
weight,
one.
right?
He's an American Psycho.
Oh, so
He is?
yes, no, he was in American Psycho. He's the guy who gets bludgeoned by Christian Bale.
When he puts the coat on?
Yeah, he goes, you got a little shower. And he goes,
He was in Fight Club. too.
no, Paul.
He was in Fight Club.
Hey, Paul. Ah! And then he kills him. I remember
the
that
hell?
scene.
Who
Yeah.
was in Zack
Surprising.
Snyder's Justice League?
He was.
He
in,
was.
like-
He was in the end credits
He was
scene.
in a flashback of like Batman or
In
something.
In the end credits scene.
But he was in. So okay, he was in House of Gucci, which I think he did a good performance.
Yeah, well,
With
the
Lady
role where he
Gaga
gained a lot
and
of
Adam
weight,
Driver?
Yeah, he gained a lot of weight, and then he was in American Psycho. He was okay in that. Like he's in a lot of the things that he was good in. He was in for either a brief amount of time or he was written all right. He was in Blade Runner. His whole character in Blade Runner is that he was. I keep on wanting to say a synth, but
Why did
that's
I
not
think-
what they were.
Wasn't Ryan Gosling in?
Blade Runner
Blade Runner?
2049 is apparently in.
God, I jump scared myself. I opened the phone and just like that is
dude.
there.
I'm so making that my background on my phone.
But he,
God.
I mean, he's like.
Oh, okay.
Dude, did you know Jared Leto did method acting for this?
Jared Leto does method acting in everything he does.
Like,
I talk quietly, so.
there was an interview
That's kind of it.
where they interviewed the director, and the director came out and was like, yeah, basically Jared Leto would walk around the entire set in crutches.
I mean,
He would
that
go to
kinda-
the, he would take bathroom breaks.
Okay,
He would
to
take like
be-
20-minute bathroom breaks where he'd just be getting into character and staying in character.
Okay,
in
I can.
crutches.
I'll appreciate that because like when you play as somebody who's like disabled, you kind of want to look like it. You don't want to just look like a guy.
Yeah, I
who's-
get it.
Yeah,
You
because
wanna, like,
you don't
you wanna
want to
try
make
to
you don't want to
empathize
make
and-
people upset. You want to actually portray the
Yeah.
disability or whatever disease you have correctly, because you want to like raise awareness about it too.
But the reason
as you're
why
doing
he
it.
gets so much crap is because of Joker, because he was the follow up.
Joker's god awful.
He was the follow up from Heath Ledger. So the thing is,
which
every
that also sucks for him, but he
he didn't. He
That's still
literally
not an
could've-
excuse. He did an awful job.
But the thing is, then you look at the hidden, not hidden,
I
the
still haven't watched it.
the cut.
Still haven't watched it.
Suicide Squad, the first
The original?
one.
Neither have I.
You're not missing anything.
But but
Don't
like
watch it.
if
I
you
really-
take
you liked it.
It's not bad.
if you take Batman,
was it
Maybe
in
watch
it?
it because Wiki said
if you
so.
take Batman, right? The Joker who played in that. I don't like who they.
That was on the
We
camera.
do have Harley Quinn.
For the new one?
I don't. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For Robert Pattinson.
Not a good pick.
I didn't like who they picked, but apparently in the deleted scenes, it was really good. Like, even though it like wasn't a great pick, like they weren't gonna have him in for a lot, and they probably aren't gonna have him in the next movie. I don't think they are. I think they're gonna have somebody else, but that's a good way of like I think that's just good writing. But also, Jared Leto is at the what's the word I'm looking for? He's at the mercy of his own creativity.
Here's the thing, though. No, I disagree, because you can have good writing or shitty writing. Acting can make or break it. It really can.
No, but that's what I mean. Like,
yeah, Jared Leto's
writing
acting
can only do writing only can do so much. Like he kind of did okay
like you
in
could,
Blade Runner.
Like you can convey apathy in an effective way that still utilizes emotion. Like we just watched iRobot, right? And Will Smith is kind of like a
Not slapping
people. Yeah, he's slapping people. Let's
he
get
got
away
banned.
from that.
But if you
But no. In iRobot that we just watched, he's apathetic, but he still cares. You know, he's like an easygoing kind of moody guy in that movie, but he has like a conviction in mind the entire movie. It's to, expose the USR, basically. In this movie, Morbius's conviction is to basically at first come up with a cure and then afterwards immediately find a way to destroy it. But it's not effectively conveyed because of his acting and his lack of emotion.
He's cold, but the issue is that yes, his acting, but like he's kind of the same person in every movie. That's the thing.
Yeah,
it's very difficult for him. It's very difficult.
I feel
for
like
him to,
I could have just acted
That's not a good
as
excuse.
myself in this movie, and it would have came out like the same way.
If you take an actor that you know is going to be cold, Blade Runner, for instance, they were like, he's supposed to be playing as a robot. Jared Leto.
Okay, easy.
That makes sense. That's easy. You take a cold, heartless machine, and then you give him a very cold... Jared Leto in real life, he's a really chill dude. Like, he's a cool guy, but at the same time, him acting, I just don't prefer his acting. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but I just don't like his acting. But if you took somebody like, I don't know, fucking Tim Allen, and then put him in this role... I don't think I want to watch Morbius all the time.
Are you fucking kidding?
It would have been more enjoyable, at least.
Dude, him flying down the tunnel.
Dude,
no, like
the dark hallway, and then it's just
during the throw up scene.
echoed.
During the throw up scene is like.
So Nick brought up.
Can I just go ahead and it's like, are you done with your point?
About acting, yeah.
Or whatever.
I mean, we have like 6 minutes left. If you guys have any other points that you want to.
Okay,
like,
I just
dump
wanted
on.
to bring up one more thing before we kind of go into like the rating part. But how'd the girl survive?
She sucked his blood.
Because some bat blood
She sucked the blood.
She got the cure
She got a little bite.
through his blood.
She bit his lip.
What?
She bit his lip, and then somehow he got horny off of his blood.
Wait a second.
Got horny.
Here's something that I'm kind of that doesn't make sense. So the whole like serum itself is made to like for him and Milo's
Poison to kill them, right?
No.
Oh, yeah.
The vial is meant for their DNA.
Yeah, it's curated towards his
It's
DNA.
curated, and they give it to somebody that does not have their condition. How does she just kind of straight up turn into a vampire?
How does she not just die?
She's like
Or
a vampire
that.
now.
Like, how does she not almost die of poison like the rat?
That's I understand that's kind of like a very specific point, but at the same time, I think
Also,
it
the
would
way
have
they
been
set
better
it
if
up,
she just died.
it's just the movie ends basically him flying, and then they show she's alive, and then they show him on like a rooftop, and then it cuts.
then he knows he can control bats or something, and
It's just such a stupid
Why can't the
ending to
other
movie.
guy?
and yeah, on top of that, like they're bats. I understand they're powerful, but they literally have been shown to run through concrete walls. What is a bunch of bats gonna?
Well, it's like
to
it's
a
like
man.
okay, like he got sliced up. He's hurt pretty bad. He's on the ground, and he called them for help, right? And they all came. So like, what'd they do?
Yeah.
They,
Did you just?
He got back up. He's fine, and he got super punch ability.
Did they like give
How?
him like blood?
Because
bats.
bats? I swear to God, when I saw bats crawling on him, I thought he was about to morph into a giant bat suit. I was gonna laugh my ass off.
Bat time.
I am
like,
Bat Guy.
I am Batman. Man Bat. Whoa.
Man Bat is
I
actually
am
real.
Guy Bat.
But if
Well, DC.
here's like, okay, I understand if you don't. There's part of me that was kind of wishing that like the MCU made this.
Yeah, because I feel like it
It'd probably
might
be a
have
lot
came
better.
out pretty good.
But
the
even if
MCU
they
made
did, it would have kind of like helped. I don't know. The best part about this movie, we said this, were the previews because they had. I don't really like. I've seen the
previews
Doctor.
sucked for this movie. I gotta say,
Oh no! I mean the
like the
previews
trailer
before.
for this movie. Yeah, I
previews.
know.
Yeah, like
But like,
Dude,
the
there was
trailers
one
for this movie
trailer
are
where there was
bad.
just all these different scenes that like tease at this plot where like Morbius kind of works with the police, and that's not even in the movie.
Yeah.
Where he's like, "Hey Morbius, we don't take lives. You're supposed to just take the guy down." Or
Yeah,
it's like,
I know.
There's people who will want to kill you and people who want to use you, and then it shows Michael Keaton. He's like, "Hey, you and I should stay in touch," and that never happens either.
yeah,
never
they,
happened.
they honestly. There's a lot of
Like this.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my
so
god.
much was scrapped, and it just shows.
The
It just
part where
shows.
he's walking past the graffitied Spider-Man that says murder on it, that never happened.
And they got rid of that.
Never happened. And it's like, well, Sony, if
Well,
you're
if
gonna
you think
tease
about it-
us, at least
If you think
tickle
about
our
it,
balls a little bit.
they
or
started
something.
coming out like before and after the Spider-Man movie, so then everybody forgot about Spider-Man. So then maybe that's why that got deleted out of there.
Hey,
No one
Jack.
forgot about Spider-Man.
Shoot me.
All right, how about we
Okay,
get to
let's
the
go to
ratings?
ratings.
Let's do the ratings.
I want to bring up something real quick.
Everyone
Like,
Google. Everyone
let's
Google
just say-
a number.
I'd like to say what everyone else gave
Google a
it.
non-copyrighted number.
So everybody probably knows at this point that Rotten Tomatoes gave it a fucking 17%. But the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is a 70. This has to be the widest gapped movie in quite a while.
How does
That's
how does-
crazy.
A 70?
A 70%.
I'm gonna get
How?
I don't give a fuck.
IMDb
I'm
gave it a
giving it
5.2 out of 10.
All right, hurry up, because my
And
phone's about to die.
Google users gave it a 71%.
Oh, I
I'm not
did
gonna be able
mean
to-
give it
I mean,
that
why don't
high
we
of a
just
rating.
say it? Why are we writing it down?
Because it's cool. We all like throw it up at the same time.
Yeah,
Okay, fine.
it's good
Honestly,
idea.
what do I even give this movie? Jesus Christ.
I have mine.
Hold on. I gotta use the troll face filter
What? Why are you doing it through Snapchat?
because that's the troll face filter.
I feel like I should be giving this lower. Hold on. There we go.
I don't know.
I have it.
I have it too.
How long does it take?
I have it.
Zach.
Yeah, come on.
I have it.
All right.
In 3.
It doesn't even show your face.
Okay, fine. I'll show my.
No, just show the number.
3,
Three,
2,
two,
1. Fucking, you give it a 1?
There are no
I gave it a 3.
there are no
I'm
redeeming
three.
qualities
Five.
about this movie.
Honestly,
there is
I-
nothing good about this movie.
Tilt. Other way.
I mean, yeah, you can kind of see it.
So
I gave it a
I gave it
4.
a
I gave it a 4. There.
so
gave it
it's a
one.
3. It's a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Ew.
I was falling asleep during this movie, and I
You give it a
regret
5?
going to this movie.
You gave it a 5.
feel like-
There's nothing redeeming about this. I mean,
I literally, I think I said this at the beginning, but I would watch Moonfall again over this movie.
Absolutely.
What'd you give it?
4.
it's supposed to be a
It's
3.
it's a 3 out of 10.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you even them all.
It's a
out.
3.6 out of 10.
Oh, what was Vicky? Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't mean
Vicky
to
made
do
it
that.
higher, so fucking.
No, that's
shit
fine.
on her.
3.6.
Vicky, what did you give it?
I gave it a 5.
Okay.
That's. I
I
mean,
mean, it's mid.
it's
It's not horrible.
Wait,
I
what
thought
was
it
it?
was
A
mid.
3.6?
3.6.
I can see. I can see
That's
how
not
people can find
mid.
it
That's
mid.
shit.
I could see how.
Okay, but
That's
Only
garbage.
thing that I found.
I couldn't find anything good about this movie.
the effects.
It had no funny ha-has.
The effects.
Maybe that's the issue.
The effects were okay. They were very much
We-
like beginning because
We
it
never
was
even
just.
touched on that.
No, but-
the whole bat.
Oh my god.
No, it
The
just.
sonar shit. It's like that's a plug and chug computer CG bullshit thing. It's not
I mean,
It was
not even that hard
cool,
to
there's
do.
a
though.
lot,
Who cares?
but-
Why are you rating stuff on how hard it is to complete?
Go on like fucking what is it? Premiere and
No, why
make
don't
a
you do
video.
it?
That's After
Then why don't
Effects.
you do
Because
it?
I don't do that shit.
Well,
but
exactly.
It's like, if
What do
I
you mean?
was to try to do that shit,
That
that'd
point
probably be
is
the
so
easiest thing to
stupid.
do on
No,
Premiere.
here's the thing.
Who
There's a
cares how
difference-
easy it is?
There's a,
That's the dumbest point ever.
Understanding there's a difference between having a simple effect that like works well and having a simple effect that you're hoping will like make or break the movie.
You know, I think this
That's not even what we're
That's not
talking about
make or
here.
break it.
It's not even
Well,
what
I
we're talking
feel
about.
like
here.
it does
Nick's
nothing-
just saying it's stupid because it was easy, and that's just that point is
It's
just
also
invalid because
I'm
that's just
sorry.
retarded.
I find things in film that are actually hard to do and cool and innovative actually interesting.
But
not
how do
something
you
that you
know?
just plug into. Like all those people who do that shit where they like take an animation and make it go 60 FPS. That's the dumbest shit. 'Cause that's another plug and chug on a computer.
Lightsabers are plug and chug.
Exactly, but that's different. That's different.
Lightsabers are plug and chug. That's
All right,
super
let's end
easy.
this. Let's end this.
Okay.
This is just gonna be another endless
All right.
debate.
We've given it a 3.6 out of 10. So if you, I don't know, want to look at that little
Yeah.
rating, that's right.
character was
Right here.
enjoyable. Movie was garbage. Script was bad. See, I thought this character wasn't going to be that cool, so it was like
Nobody
there was
asked
nothing
for
to
it.
build off of.
Nobody asked for it.
Nobody did ask for it, but it's one of the only things Sony owns. So they're gonna milk
Besides
it.
Nobody
Hulk.
asked for it, and it's something
It's a
we
Spider-Man
didn't
villain, so they're
deserve.
like, write it.
And with that said, bye.
You guys are
Go
so
watch
cursed.
Moonfall.
Thank you for watching. Make
Follow
sure you
us on
like, comment,
Twitter.
and subscribe. Let us know what movies you want us to do next. We actually got a comment on our last video on a movie that they
Whoa.
want us to do. What was that comment again?
I think they said they wanted us to do Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard,
Oh yeah.
which is a
So-
sequel. So I don't know if we do that straight away.
We probably want to do it straight away, but we would
because
we
probably
could
wanna do the
definitely
first one
cover
first, but
like the first and or second movie of the Hitman's Bodyguard
right.
in the future. That's definitely coming. So thank you for that recommendation.
Yep. Follow us on our socials. We have TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. You know how it be.
We're also on the audio platforms, so if
Yeah.
you have like Spotify or Apple Podcasts,
Good
Pandora,
Pods.
Good Pods, you know,
whatever
can
you
find us
listen
there.
on, just search us up. We might be on there.
Yep. And thanks for watching.
yeah.
If you've gotten this far, I mean, geez, thanks. Really.
If you've gotten this far and you're not subscribed,
Like,
please
holy
do it.
shit.
Go for it, man.
But with that being said, see you later.
Bye.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Listen,
to
Nick,
the-
quick synopsis of why the Vulture is there. Okay, so basically, Spider-Man, right? He
The
wanted.
vulture is hungry,
No,
right?
he-
So
well,
he's going
it's
to
kind of like
eat
a
back.
Spider-Man and
Going-
Loki kind of thing.
he's
So
going to
Loki
jail.
fucked up
Going
everything
to jail to eat
and
back.
and made timelines.
He
So
wants bat stew.
fuck off.
Put this
Because
farther back.
so then
he's going to eat the bat stew.
no.
Is this the intro?
And then fucking Spider-Man was like, "Yo,
guy fucking
I'm tired of living,
doing
bro.
it.
I
Doing
hate
it.
this
Give me a
shit. I want
sponsor.
everybody to forget about me except for my aunt and Ned,
Or you wanna switch it to
freaking
us?
Mary Jane or whatever, or MJ,
Yep.
Zendaya,
Welcome back.
Ned, and Ned."
is-
Right? So then he made this huge fucking time bubble where everything just went to shit, and Marvel and Sony were like, "Yo, this is a great opportunity that we can merge, actually make Sony not shit." Right? Which actually didn't happen because they were shit in this movie. But anyways, they merged together, and then now the Vulture just somehow fucking appeared into a different prison in a different timeline, and they somehow still had the urge to just keep him arrested for a little bit, which makes no fucking sense. And then he somehow also gets all of his Vulture gear, which also makes no fucking sense because where he was arrested. He was just a man who had fucking nothing. He was in a white jumpsuit when he appeared in the prison. But how do you get the How do you get the Vulture suit? How do you bring the Vulture suit from the alternate reality into this reality?
This isn't the intro, is it?
I don't know.
You're right, Jack.